Hello to everyone. This is Andreana from Milan, Italy. Welcome to Radio Mirti, the communication channel of our advisory company, whose name is Mirti Finance. And here is our second episode concerning Italy for Business. Thank you. Today I am less emotional. I remember the first episode, now it's a little bit better. I know that somebody from USA, from India, from Egypt, Saudi Arabia has appreciated our initiative. Thank you. Today we speak about the micro companies. Today we talk about the Italian production texture, structure. We are therefore referring to the entire national territory and not to a specific area of the country or to particular production sector. One of the characteristics of the Italian production texture is the phenomenon of the micro-enterprise. There are basically two schools of thought in this regard, those who say that they are the economic strength of the country and that they are a positive phenomenon, those who say the exact opposite, that is, the micro-enterprise is not performing or is not performing enough, it is not updated, and makes it difficult for the country, the Italian country, to strengthen its economy. Well, you will not believe it, but they represent almost 90% of Italian companies. What are their characteristics? They are micro-sized. They are family-run. They have a turnover between 500,000 and 5 million euros, so some even reaching 10 millions. They are scattered in any production sector. Do you want my thought, my opinion? Personally, I hate them. I am saying this with a smile on my mouth. In any case, I have to deal with them when I work here on the domestic market. And I also agree when it is said that they are not performing. Of course, my vision is different. I come from big groups, I come from a specific education, so when I observe them, I cannot say they are so performing. Let's now clarify the strength of those companies and their weaknesses. Their main strength is their product and production orientation. Their obsessive attention to product quality has made Italy known all over the world. Think about food, fashion, precision mechanics, robots, and so on. All things that require a specific attention and a specific know-how. The main weakness is the absence of management, and when we keep out from this galaxy the more structured companies with a turnover of even 30, 40 million euros, we realize that there is no management orientation. And the managers inside are mainly represented by internal people who have grown inside this company over time. With this, I don't want to massacre these companies, but I cannot deny that working with them is not always easy. And I cannot deny that many of them could receive much more satisfaction if only they, allow themselves to be guided towards a more complex and technical concept of business. Even in the medium-sized companies, you will find owners always in the production department. Probably they enjoy, probably in this department they find their history, the point where they started up. But you know that production is only one of the several areas you have to take care of inside the company. This is the limit. When I stopped in Italy 8 years ago, without losing, of course, my international nature and experience, I realized that if I wanted to work with them, I should first of all observe them, try to understand them. And also I had to defend myself from their distrust. Today I don't know if I found the key that opens all the doors, but I know I have understood how to give them results in wider contexts. Basically, I have turned myself into a kind of decoder that simplifies the most complex concepts, allowing them to put them into practice, because they are really practice-oriented, not theoretical. This methodology finally allowed me to make small businesses communicate with larger companies, even big groups, without too many problems. What is the difficulty? Usually a big company is structured in mentality, organization, processes, documental processes, and so on. The small company has nothing of this. And so really you are putting together two different way to work. And if the small company is speaking or trying to speak with a foreign company, you have the additional problem of the two different culture and vision of the life. And I don't mention the problem of English. I think that today is absolutely incredible how many people is still not speaking English properly. So when I put together these two realities, so the small Italian company or the micro company in Italy and a bigger group, above all abroad, on the one hand I speak in one way, on the other I speak in another, and in the end, let me say, they all lived happily ever after. No? But you will ask probably why here in Italy the company are so small. I think that the replies can be two and of a different nature. The first answer is the Italian is an individualist. He wants to do everything himself and has no attitude to share, collaborate with third parties. The second reply could be due to the tax charge here in Italy. They often force their project to this small size, only for self-defense. And perhaps they prefer to have more than one small company, forming a sort of group, but almost never in the form of a holding company or of group from the technical point of view. So often they lose for example, the typical intercompany advantages. The said 2020 and now the 2021, it is not so different, has forced many of them to revise their habits. You cannot imagine how many are calling me asking to help them. They are discovering the export. Too many companies in Italy are not exporting in the right way, in the way I would like, in the way they could do. But they are calling me in order to find a way to establish agreements with other companies through, usually I suggest, the establishment of joint venture. The issue of the joint venture is personally very dear to me because in my opinion it is an interesting tool that can only do well for companies, the members inside, as usually a joint venture is born either for compensation or for expansion. The joint venture is often the prelude to more complex operations called extraordinary operations such as those of mergers and acquisition, equally loved by the undersigned and an important part of my profession. What is certain is that the joint venture is not a mere agreement between two or more companies. It is a real choice to be something different, to approach work in a different way. Therefore, with a sense of openness, sharing, fairness, foresight, sense of belonging, perseverance. In the next future, I will be able to tell you how many of my clients survived facing this challenge. so new for them. This is the reason I used to say to companies abroad that if you want to work this company, taking in advantage the best they can give you, especially if you are a small and medium-sized company too, I used to advise to rely on a decoder, so to an advisor. I'm not selling my services. I'm only saying that it is important to have somebody in the middle. It is not an agent. This is not what I mean. It's a group or a person that is able to start your business relationship and above all to support the meeting of different cultures, anticipating and solving difficulties. So I said the last time in the first episode, here you can buy, here you can sell, here you can find production units, here you can find a market for anything you like. But when you come here, the micro company could represent something that doesn't give you the trust enough to adventure yourself in new relationship. So don't hesitate to call, even for an advice how to proceed, or also to understand how to cover the gap between your way to work, your processes, your needs, and the way these small companies, maybe you have already selected for your purpose, have inside. So you know how to reach me. You have all my contacts. Don't hesitate even to write me. It will be really a pleasure to be at your full disposal. So our second episode ends here. Let me thank you for the listening, and hear you next week from Milan. My best regards. This is Andreana for you. Ciao, ciao.